Hello there. Today is day 22 of working on a currently untitled project. So let's hop right in. So the two main things I did today was I took an online shader from a guy from this guy, and you can pause if you want to read his name, and slightly changed it up so that it works as the background Ichor, the blood flowing from underneath the surface. And I took an old shader from high school project and I repurposed it, and along with the mesh generating code that was used for it. And that's a combination of things that you're seeing here. This is for the surface of the arena that you're going to be in. It's a start. I don't really like it right now. There are a lot of problems with this. But yeah, that's the core stuff that I did today. Another slow day. So if you just want the core stuff, feel free to click off. If you want to listen to me ramble about all this, feel free to stick around. So initially I explored some ideas around taking some textures from online and repurposing them for this sort of thing, and like this was an experiment with that, and it just, at a minimum, I need better sources of textures, because the sources of textures I have right now are not great. Like I haven't really gone and searched up textures online very much. So yeah, I need to figure out where I can find good images online in general. Yeah, so that's also going to be the case when I try to do more stuff with the enemies. I'm going to want some more textures there probably, and I either need to figure out how to make them, or I need to figure out how to find them. Just some like repeating triangle textures would be a good start. I should be able to make that without too much effort, but you know, I would rather not, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so like I said, currently now this looks good. It's a start. It's not nothing, but it's pretty sad, and this is not performant at all. The Ichor shader is really expensive. The article I pulled it from is how to optimize it to, you know, significantly reduce the cost of it, and even then it's expensive. So, yeah, need to work on that. I can pull from the optimized version and, you know, rather than the unoptimized version, but I also just want to change how it looks in general, so there's a lot to do there. The echo doesn't look quite right underneath like that. The surface just doesn't look right. I don't know, like, oh, this also changed back to -10. Right, yeah, I did that in the game. So this looks a bit better here. I was wondering why it looked so off, because I thought I had changed it, and I had done it in play mode. This looks a bit better. The surface doesn't look quite as thick, but it doesn't really look like it's a surface, you know? So this is like the interplay between the two. It doesn't look like this is like a skin over top of blood flowing. it just sort of looks like there's a surface and then there's another surface, you know? So, problematic. Yeah. If one of the two, if either the surface or the Ichor is colored, the other one doesn't really look good colored. Unless it's colored the same way. Like if I color this reddish, like that just doesn't look right. It's I don't know. It's hard to make the surface transparent enough that you can still see the Ichor properly, while being solid enough that gives the appearance of solid ground. I've been playing around with that a bit. I can play around with it a bit more as well. And, you know, maybe it's better to go lean in one direction rather than the other. I'm not really sure right now. There's also pretty bad aliasing on this. I kind of wonder how much that can be fixed with a FXAA or SMAA. I don't want to use TAA, but that's a bridge I'll cross when I get to it. The mesh for the surface doesn't look good. It looks way too repetitive. Like it's the same pattern over and over and over and over and over again. Switching it up somehow would be good. Having it so that it's not exactly the same, like two triangle pattern would be helpful. Or making it a more complicated pattern just in general would be useful. I can probably make more complicated shapes because again this is a shader that I made back in high school, and I was generating mesh back in high school. Knowing a lot more now, I should be able to do a lot better. But we'll see. Now the scales well. It'll take some effort to make this work properly for an infinite world, which is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the rooms. Yeah. There's also a bunch of other things to play around with, like, you know, I could deform, you know, I can deform things more, or I can, you know, make it all uniform. The deformation is pretty noisy, like it's visually interesting, but maybe that's not a good thing for ground to be. Like that's, I think it's cool. I think it has its own value, but it, like there are problems with this, like just visually, like they're just problems. I don't know, I'm also thinking that maybe the icon needs to be a bit demoed just because I don't know, like is it going to be hard to see enemies on this? Probably. Like there's just all these different issues that come up when trying to deal with this sort of thing. Yeah. And also make it really fast and noisy. That's an old thing. For the level transition, like it would do that and, you know, fade out. Because that used to be the level background for an old game that I was making back in high school. Yeah, I've been struggling the past couple of days. This was another slow day today. I need to really kick into high gear if I'm going to get anywhere doing this, week-long push for the art. It might help my metabolism to be able to exercise again because I wasn't able to for a while. My ankle was a bit injured, so I needed to rest it, and that meant that I wasn't getting my steps in, and that means I wasn't, being energized, and that I just was, like, I was getting up later and later each day, and now I'm able to exercise again, so, or at least I think I'm able to, so hopefully that's going to be better off. Yeah, I think that's everything for today. If you have any comments, questions, ideas, or anything else on your mind, leave a comment below. Thank you for your time, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.